TJ.
Yeah.
Come here. Kha'yair, come clean your plate. Put your plate away. I keep telling you that. I need you to work on this, TJ. I need you to work on spelling some words. Just sit there and spell some words, okay? Turn all your letters up like this. When you finish, let me know because they got to go back in this plastic bag.
What do I have to do?
Just spell some words. Okay. What's this? Oh, that's an N. Jerry. Turn them up, CJ.
Huh?
Welcome. Welcome on in, guys. Turn them up. Turn the letters upward. And spell some words. Okay. Mega love shout out to all of Team Happy coming in. Tamika Davis, welcome, Queen. Good to see you again today. I didn't announce yesterday that I was going live today because I wasn't really sure if I would have the time. I'm trying to play catch up with the kiddos, and school starts for my kids next week on Thursday. So I've been, now that I'm feeling better and I'm moving about, trying to tie some loose ends still and getting them prepared for school. We was able to go to a drive the other day for like free backpacks they wanted to go to. And normally we don't even go. But because I was sick and they were cooped up in the house and stuff, I just felt like, come on, let me just take them somewhere. So we did go out there, and my mother met a woman last week that told her there's another one tomorrow, and they're looking forward to going there too. Now, I don't think we're going to take the backpacks. Kha'yair, come have a seat. I don't think we're going to take the backpacks, but in addition to that, they're doing a lot of outdoor activity and stuff like that. So I think they're going to go for that. Like, they have free food, games. I think my grandson said, because he was with my mom when they met the woman, that they were going to give out free haircuts, but we're not doing that either. My hubby's a barber. That's who take care of their hair. Bring me that cup. That's who take care of my boy's hair. So that's what we'll be doing. Hey, I see you, Judith. Let me drop the link for you, Queen. Hold on one second. Good there. Dropping the link so Judith can come up here. Let me welcome everybody in. Joy, welcome. Mega love shout out, Team Happy. Malai, welcome. Mega love shout out from Team Happy. Put that in the kitchen. What are you staring in there for? Put that in the kitchen, please. And I asked you to spell words and you worried about a cup. Come spell these words. Yeah, tonight's topic is, have you ever dated someone who was incarcerated? And I think this would be a good topic for Girls Talk. Especially, you don't have to be prepared for something like this. Deandra, welcome, Queen. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate having you. MLW Fishing Man, I'm sorry. Peace King, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you guys for stopping over to spend some time with me. As you can see by our topic, Tajan?
No, you're not in it.
Okay, just come have a seat. I'm sure everybody can relate to tonight's topic. So, again, Kha'yair, let him do what he's doing. He's studying. We can just talk openly about this. What's going on, Deandra? How's work going so far, Queen? Yeah, happy Friday to you too. Good to have you here. MLW Fisherman, we're talking about if we ever dated someone that was incarcerated. So if you hang around, you can answer to from a woman's standpoint. Have you ever dated a female that was incarcerated? Because they be incarcerated just as much as men nowadays. So really quickly, I want to welcome Judith. Hey, Queen, how are you?
Girl, I'm not even.
I'm sorry, my mic was.
And I can't find how to freaking do it. Give me a minute. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I thought I didn't even know my mic was on. I apologize. How is everyone? This week has been a little hectic for me also. Actually, the last few weeks have been a little hectic. So get ready for some Building Ace Legacy story times.
Is it that deep? Is it something you forgot to tell me? I mean, I know when we talked on the phone, I wasn't feeling great. Lacey wasn't feeling too hot, so we didn't get into all that. Let me see what Deandra said. I'm so tired. I sat on the sofa and fell asleep. Just woke up and saw you were live, so I'm trying to shake the sleepiness off. Hope everyone had a happy long week. Listen. No. Let TJ do what he's doing. I'm not going to ask y'all to go over there again. Goodbye. You're next, Ty. Let TJ do it first. Go, Tyjon. Oh my God, I have one of the kids over here practicing making words out of these magnetic letters. And we can't have no peace. This is just something that I do to make sure that they're always concentrating on vocabulary and reading and phonics and everything else. Just spell me some words and tap me and let me see, and I'll give you the head nod or whatever. And yeah, everything is a teachable moment over here. I told you guys, I'm always pounding everything that I can into these boys' heads because, again, realistically, hubby and I won't be around forever, and I want them to be as independent as possible. And if they ever need to rely on anybody, it should be one another. So I know a lot of people ask me, like, are you a teacher? I'm like, no. Never been outside of in my younger years when I was doing early childhood education. So I was working at a daycare, but it's just naturally something that I do. I've always been like this. I was a bookworm, so there's that. But I hope everybody have an amazing weekend this weekend. This is a long holiday weekend. We don't have anything planned, like no barbecues or anything like that. We're just doing the norm and preparing for our week ahead, which I was saying in the beginning that my boys are starting back school this week on Thursday. So, woohoo, we're looking forward to that. Judith, what y'all got going on this weekend?
We are on lockdown this weekend. We don't have anything going on. I guess our normalcy will start back on Sunday. Back to my daughter's working, and I, church, as long as I'm clear, and trying to get back to the normal routine.
I mean, do anybody even really celebrate Labor Day like that anymore? Because as far as I know, everybody is always preparing for school that's up here, up north. But Southerners, their children are already in school. I'm not sure if anybody really make... TJ, don't scratch the table. I don't know if anybody really make plans like that for Labor Day. I think after 4th of July, the... summer season just kind of dwindles on out. What she say? Me either. We have no plans. Listen, that's what I'm talking about right there, Deandra. A reset. Get your house back in order and getting caught up on some things. I know you probably are so happy to have Monday off already. You just started within the month. I'm sure it's been rough. It's hard. I was saying in my WOW group the other day that I like the fact that I work year round. I don't like a job that would give me off some summer months because it's going to be hard getting back into the swing of things when it's time to go back to work. So I'd rather just work year round. And what I do is, depending on the type of job, if they give me 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off, I look at the calendar a year at a glance. And I know that every quarter I'm going to need like a long weekend because you got to reset. You got to reset. And in addition to that, I am going to take like 1 week for the year as a straight holiday week. So I just always set it up like that so I can always, because trust me, that long weekend, and what I would do is I would keep my eye on those holidays and stuff. And I would try to make my long weekend that particular holiday. Holiday weekend, so that I can have 4 days off versus just 3. That almost feel like you had quite a few, like a week off almost. So I would always set my stuff up like that. But at our school, we had a lot of kids out because they are going out of town. Okay. Happy you feel better. She's happy you feel better, Judith. Yeah. Lucky y'all. Sierra has gone back to work as well, and she had a rough day earlier in the beginning of this week. She was just like going through it. I was like, are you having a meltdown, sweetie? Do you need to take a social media break? Because that, on top of work and trying to get your life in order, that's tough. TSM, welcome, King. Thank you for stopping by to say hello to us. We haven't even really gotten into the topic yet. Say hi and go.
Hi.
All right, go ahead. Just adult conversations tonight. We're going to talk about anybody dating someone that was incarcerated. So that can go both ways, either male or female. We can actually go ahead and get into this, guys. I definitely have, in my younger years, dated individuals that was incarcerated. I said go sit down and watch TV. This little one tries it. My God. I don't. TJ, you said you were done. It's Tyzir's turn. Tajan, go back over there. You're next, okay? I think we all have at some point. Well, I can't say every single person has, but like everyone in my circle has at some point. Especially when you grew up north in the city or in the hood. It's what you was exposed to. Doesn't necessarily mean that you met someone who was incarcerated. Means simply that someone you were dating went to jail and you held them down. It's not uncommon. There is a whole TV show, Love After Lockup. Everybody knows, one of my favorite TV shows. So it's so common that it's now a reality show. It happens. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. Sometimes people fall on hard times. Sometimes we just get with people who are knuckleheads, and they keep having to bang their head against the wall and against the wall. And some people take longer than others before that whole sitting in jail and or prison is a good reset for them, and they make the necessary adjustment to come back and be a productive citizen. You have some people that I call lifers, that ever since I've known them, I have some guys that I grew up under. Ever since I've known them, they've been in and out of jail. It's sad, but to me, and this is just my opinion, and I know a lot of people agree because I've had this conversation with a number of different people in different environments. Some of them are so acclimated to being in there that when they are given freedom, they can't handle it. It's too much. And so they go and either violate parole or probation or commit another crime so that it can land them back in there because that's really all they know, and it's so sad. Some of them are mentally prepared and in the mindset that I'll probably die in jail or prison, and they're okay with that. It is really sad. When they're in there, though, they are given luxuries, in my opinion. They watch cable TV. They get to play ball. They get to, play cards, whatever. They doing everything. The only thing that they're lacking is their freedom. I know that sounds crazy, and it sounds like I'm minimizing that, but realistically, when you think of it, like someone who's in there, that's how they look at it. Like, the only thing I can't do is come and go as I please. Never will be a life for me. I know that I always tell people you're always one bad decision away from possibly landing yourself in a place like that. But I just hope that I never get put in a situation where my freedom is compromised. Tyjon, for the very last time, put that down. Put that down. And go have a seat. Hey, Life with Kiki. I saw you come in the back door, Queen. Welcome. Thank you for stopping in, checking us out. Appreciate having you. We're just having a little girl talk over here. We're just talking about if you would or have you dated someone that was incarcerated. If you have, just let's chat about it. Let's talk in the chat here. Admin Pretty Joy, Team Happy, mega love shout out. Tabashan, Team Happy, mega love shout out. Kathleen, welcome, mega love shout out. Maria, Teresa, welcome. Irma, appreciate having you guys here. Mega love shout out to all of Team Happy. Jaylyn, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Kiki, if you're here, have you ever dated someone incarcerated? Okay, I have, and let me tell you, they are cheaters more in there than inside. Right. Never again. Listen, you are so right, honey. You are so right. What's funny about that statement that you just said is yesterday I was catching up on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all know I always bring my reality shows to it, right? Sheree was recently dating the guy Tyrone, and Apollo sat down and talked with her in last week's episode, which was Phaedra's ex-husband, and he was giving her like the inside scoop on how Tyrone was that Tyrone brought up to him that he was seeing Sheree. He said he just kind of like bypassed it, but anyway, he was explaining just that to her, that he watched men be on the phone with their women and make all these promises and stuff, and I'm gonna come home and we gonna be together. Come here. We gonna be together. I'm coming home, all that good stuff. And then they would hang up the phone with her, call the next woman, and then after that, call the next woman. And then she was explaining that everything was good. He was doing that talk, but basically when he got out, he wasn't walking the walk, and he wasn't surprised at all. Apollo wasn't surprised at all, because he was like, so you guys didn't stay together? She was like, no, sit down, and you better not move. So, yeah. I mean, I know stories from my personal, not my personal experience, but friends who have dated people that was incarcerated. And, yeah, that's true. East Dad, welcome in, King. I saw you come in the back door. Listen, I'm going to let you live today because I'm still on the mend. I was kind of down. And I'm still on the mend, trying to recoup, trying to get myself together. I ain't got time for your foolishness today. But welcome, sir. Thank you so much, King, for coming in. You know, me and you got this little thing. But I don't even have the energy to do it to you tonight. Are you at work, Eastad? I know you're a hard-working brother. You always at work. You say, let me. Right. Let you. Let you. They sell too many dreams while incarcerated. Absolutely. What else do they have to do? They only got their mouthpiece.
Am I dead?
They be kicking all kind of game when they in there. You are at work. Uh-huh. I know you are. You're always at work. But when you get home, oh, it's on tonight. I'll watch you tonight. If you up playing tonight, I'll watch you tonight. I normally come into yours on Friday nights. If I have other nights that I catch you on, I go in there as well. I have certain people that I watch on certain nights, and I noticed that you and King Morgan normally fall on my Friday nights. Christy, Team Happy, welcome. Mega love shout out. Thank you for coming in, sweetheart. She said, but there are good ones, but most are having relationship with the guards. You know what?
Wait, what did it?
So I've also dated in my younger years. I was like pre-kid, everything. And it's funny because he was like not someone I was serious in a relationship with, but he was very attentive to me. So, you know, I had a little bit of money to take care of myself. I was like 17, 18, so you know, I couldn't take care of him in jail. But he was a decent guy. Come the way we met this gentleman, me and my best friend was working somewhere, and we worked across the street from a McDonald's. So when we got paid, we went over to McDonald's. They came in, they paid for our food, trying to convince us, you know, to hop in their car and so they could take us home. Okay, our little stupid fresh behinds got in these cars. They all had the same car. It was like 4 guys. So the guy that wanted to talk to her, she got in the car with, and I got in the car with the other guy. But like I said, they turned out to be okay guys. But at the end of the day, we were riding in stolen cars and had no idea we were riding in stolen cars. So yes, that was my prison relationship.
So was that only one? You were one and done? Because I had a couple.
One and done. Yes, that was enough for me. I barely like to get pat down during intimacy. So what I had to go through to get in this prison system, no thank you. No thank you. And sometimes my youngest brother at the time is the second youngest brother. So like I said before, he's 2 years older than Lacey. So I would take him sometimes up there with me. And yeah, it was just like too much. It was too much. For it not to be no, like, we weren't in a relationship or nothing. So if I found out later, he did have a girlfriend and a son and all that good stuff. So I wasn't affected by it like that because it wasn't nothing too serious for me. But we were okay. You know, we became friends or whatever. But yeah, it was a mess.
Girl, now you know how the men are. They got some game with them when they out on the street. So you know when they in there, they got to step their mental up because that's all they got is that mouthpiece, you know. Oh my God. At least when they're on the street, they can whine you and dine you and, you know, be physical with you and everything. They don't have all that when they're in prison. So they got to step that game all the way up. They be on 1,000. I'm going to get back to it, though. Always a pleasure to see you. Have a good extended weekend, Mrs. A. Thank you so much, Eastad. You do the same. Enjoy the rest of your shift, King, and I'll see you on your live tonight. I'm going back up in the chat because I see something going on. They got more drugs in there than on the street. Absolutely, Kiki. Listen. How you think they get in there? Them guards bring it in. The guards are so crooked. It's so funny because at the park yesterday, when I got off my live stream, I met this young lady and we were sitting there talking, and she was telling me that her daughter was on drugs and in and out of prison, and she was just saying how disgraceful it is when she goes up there. Stop playing with that. When she goes up there, how she feels when it's time to get patted down, and how a lot of the guards were being terminated because of doing just what we're saying, bringing the contraband in. And I'm like, why do they even jeopardize their jobs, their careers, for foolishness like that? Like, I would never understand how someone on the inside, that you are brought there, you're employed to monitor these people. How do you get caught up like that? What are these guys saying? Why would you even stop and listen to it if you know that that right there is a direct violation of the policy? Like, come on, you're not supposed to even befriend these people, let alone get to a point where you're dating them. But you are right, Kiki. They do smuggle those drugs and stuff in there. Phones, all kind of stuff for those inmates. They do the same thing at the psych hospitals. They smuggle stuff in there. So that's what they do. You got to think, with every job, no matter what the job is, there are going to be some crooked people, because you're dealing with citizens. You're dealing with humans. People are tempted and they do crazy things. People are greedy. It's unfortunate. It goes against the code of ethic, but it happens. Crazy how men get multiple women while locked up. Listen. Girl, what's crazy to me is the women up there fighting and carrying on over these men. They go up to these places to act like that. Purposely. She better not be up there visiting him. They hound these guys in prison. Like, their phone time is only, 10, 15 minutes? And you using that up to argue with him over another woman. And you free and can do whatever you want and move how you want. And that's what you opt to deal with. That's what you need. That's just what you deserve. You sell yourself short like that, then that's what you get. I dated one and he had a cell phone. Drugs wanted me to do wire transfers. Oh my God. I told him, no sir. Now he out. But got a baby with the guard. She still worked there. Unfreaking believable. Listen. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. They were just two that got away with it. Somebody knew. But they was giving them some stuff. Some extra benefits to keep their mouth shut, I'm sure they got blackmailed, probably by some of the inmates or whatever. But those guards have a way of making things hard on the inmates. Come here, so that they can get away with that stuff. Judith, can you talk for a second?
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, it's the prisons. I wrote in the comments that the guards are the government. Because the government know about every drug transaction, everything, and they get their part of it. The guard systems in the prisons are the exact same thing, the government. They're getting their parts and letting in and out what is supposed to come in and out and getting their dollars on top of it. It's crooked everywhere, like she said, especially with dealing with human beings.
Yeah, like, I think we all know someone that was our loved one or a friend of someone or something like that, that was messing with an inmate that worked in that field. Like, that's just crazy to me. And I always say like that the psych hospitals and the prisons are basically similar to me, because we as staff, they view us as like guards and stuff. You know, that's how the clients look at us, and it's a shame, but we are overseeing them. We're doing the same job basically, except we're not law enforcement. But we are viewed like that by our clients. And as crazy as it sounds, it happens a lot at the psych hospitals where the staff mess with the clients. You have to remember, every client that's in a psych facility does not have psych issues. Some of them committed crimes, and that was their way of getting around going to prison. Their lawyers, got them off. And is it really getting you off when you have to land yourself in a psych facility? But that's one of the major ways that they do get these people off. And so that's a case where there's a normal, high-functioning individual who's in a psych facility just playing that role, just playing that game. And so they're able to talk, manipulate, or even just wow these staff. We had a woman that was a nurse, a RN, and she was sleeping with one of the patients. And it must have gotten so good to her, she left the job. She opted to leave that job because they did find out. But she opted to leave the job in order to stay with him. And they eventually got married. And after some time, he was taken out of the psych hospital and transitioned into the community, into a supervised apartment. And so he's living his normal little happy life now with his wife. Now the program rules is she could not live with him and stuff like that, because the type of program that he's in is for single individuals. But there are some programs for individuals that are married. And so the last I heard, that's what they were working on, getting him moved into that other type of community, because she would benefit by being able to live there because it's funded, government funded program. And all he had to do was fulfill his obligations of letting his nurse come in and see him weekly, his counselor come to make her bi-weekly visits, case manager come see him once a week. Like, as long as he did that kind of stuff, he's able to stay there. And so if he do transition over into a program that's for couples or married couples, then they good to go. She don't have to work or anything, because everything is being financed by the agency that he is signed into. It's crazy, but there are ways that individuals get over on the system. It's crazy. Pretty Joy, welcome. Team Happy, mega love shout out. She said, wow, Kiki, that's crazy. Yeah, it happens, Deandra. All that crazy stuff. Helenista, welcome. Sissy Pooh, thank you for coming in. Appreciate having you. She said, the government guards are the government for prisons controlling what's coming in and going out. Absolutely. Absolutely. I often was like, how are they able to even smoke? Even as workers, don't they get first going in and out of those facilities? They should. It's crazy. But obviously somebody's lacking and not doing their job because they're able to get this contraband in. I was often like wondering, like, how the heck do they get where are they sleeping with these inmates but coat closets and all kind of crazy stuff? Because, you know, I have to go by what I see. And when I watched that show, Orange is the New Black, I saw all that craziness and I was like, wow. And that's because I never really gave much thought, like, how do they be getting those inmates pregnant, those female inmates pregnant? And why don't nobody know? But they lie. They frame other guards. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sierra, welcome, Queen. Sorry I'm late. Was grabbing dinner and laying low on this couch. I know that's right. You exhausted? Listen. I think I am tired of reclining at this point because I've been down for the past couple weeks. So I'm looking for a reason to get up and move about. I just, like I was explaining, still not myself, still getting winded, still have to take a break in between tasks, but nothing left, still trying to move around because I'm just tired of, like, girl, cabin fever at its finest. Evelyn, welcome. Mega love shout out, Team Happy. Thank you for coming in. Mary Rose, Team Happy, mega love shout out. See everybody speaking here. So yeah, anybody coming in, have you ever dated someone that was incarcerated? Doesn't mean that you met them when they were incarcerated. Could simply mean that it was someone you were dating and then they eventually got themselves incarcerated as well. The Woods Way, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Your pleasure, 721. Good to see you in here tonight, Queen.
I want to just go back a little bit. Now, we done already discussed this men cheating thing. They find a way no matter where they at. Underground, overground, overseas. And you think a prison gate gonna stop them? It is not going to stop them. However they go get it, they go get it. And at that point, it's just conversation.
Oh.
I'm still flabbergasted at the fact that the women would even stop and listen to their lines. Like, what can that individual say to you that would make you even contemplate? First of all, what did he say to make you stop and even listen? Why did you give it a second thought? And why did you even go into contemplating, like, this can, like, what's the benefits of it and this and that? And how did he ever convince you to go along with it? Or she? Like, what does that say for you and your morals and your expectations? Like, and it's not to say that everyone that is incarcerated is a very bad person. They just made a very bad decision, obviously. But realistically, if a person did like a long prison term or jail term or whatever, they still gonna have some programs that they're going to have to complete on the other side once they come out. So how is that going to be beneficial to you in your situation? Like, I'm just not understanding how some women are just okay with that. I'm just saying, I don't get it. You were glad to see me at the park yesterday? Yes, Sierra. I had to get out and get some fresh air, girl. Listen, I couldn't take it no more. Hey, Precious. Welcome, Queen. Good to have you here. I am back. I did my first live yesterday at the park. Me and the boys went out to get some air. No, you haven't been MIA. We all have been. School and work. The boys are back in. Wow. Well, listen. I look at, and I know this sounds so crazy, and I'm sorry for you teachers, Sierra and Deandra and anybody else in here that may be in teaching, but I miss the kids being in school because they like my daytime babysitters. I'm sorry. Like, I look forward to them being in school so I can get some things accomplished. Not in the sense that they really are babysitters, but I don't have to pay. I know where they are. They're getting structure. They're getting education. They're getting everything they need, possibly nap. They're getting fed. That's a win-win for me. I was at the same woman at the park yesterday. We were talking about when the whole pandemic hit. Say hi, and then you got to go, okay?
Hi.
And I was like,
Wait for me.
I was offended when the pandemic hit, and they had us
Bye.
doing
Bye.
homeschooling with the kids, and we didn't. Wait, they can't see. There you go. There you go.
Bye.
Okay. So my wait for me. Go back over there and have a seat, okay?
Okay.
I was feeling some kind of way because I was doing the teacher's job and I didn't get the teacher's salary. They could have gave me a cut or something. I felt some kind of way. And then what really pissed me off, Ty, is when Teachers Appreciation Day rolled around and they was around there talking about appreciate the teachers. I'm like, what about me? I'm one. I became a teacher since March of 2020. No, but realistically, what I was saying to the woman is I have a newfound respect for teachers now. After having gone through that, it was a shock for the entire U.S. And we all had to do things different. And we all had to support one another and hold one another down. And we had to make it work. And we did. And I think that everyone... Yeah, there may have been a few oops and stuff like that, but everyone did a great job because everybody know that change doesn't always go over well with everybody, but the way that everyone collectively worked together, the way that they had to come up with a quick solution with these whole drive up, pick up the Chromebooks and the hotspots and then they had to come up with like, how are we going to continue to feed these kids? And they came up with that whole system of pull your car up and, come get the meals. And at first you had to have the kids with you and it was a little bit of an inconvenience, but they worked the kinks out and the parents was able to go up there and get the foods anyway. So I thought that was really, really great. I mean, I know the school didn't fund it, but I'm just saying it was nice that the school officials worked together. And everything, it didn't interrupt the kids' education and stuff like that. You haven't ever dated anyone incarcerated, Sierra? Oh my gosh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Tamika said yes. Okay, Tamika, tell us a little more, honey. How long was it? How old were you? Was it like years ago? Was it a long-term relationship with someone? Did you see them all the way through? Did they get out and y'all were still together? How did that end up for you? She said, Sierra, I was doing the same thing. Hubby and I were waking up from a nap on the sofa. Still feel sluggish. It's hard to get out of that sluggish feeling right now. You got to think all of this is new for you again after having off a few months. So your body's going to have to take some time to adjust to going back into that routine. Kindergarten's kicking his butt. I know that's right, Sierra. When you told me you had to work with the kindergarten population, I was like, oh my God, I started saying an extra prayer for you. It's not easy. It's not easy to go from independent children to possibly changing diapers and stuff. Girl, it's not fun and it's not easy. So I was dating this guy and then he went to jail. So I was talking to him for a little bit because we were cool. But then a girl I knew got a letter from him. Her nickname, letter. Oh my God. They so dirty. We talked about that, like how they have multiple women. And I'm like... You know why? Because they spit that game, girl. Listen. They know all the right things to say.
He traced on that letter. He didn't draw on that letter. Let's get this straight right now. Not Nair Ninja went to prison and all of a sudden they are these supreme artists. He traced, just like the rest of them, traced those pictures.
Some of them actually can draw. Some of them actually can. It's a small percentage, but they can. Oh my God, this girl is funny. Just like some of them can braid hair. It's a small percentage of them, but they can. Oh my gosh, she's too funny. She said the same way he did mine. I cut him off as a friend. He'll never look back. Listen, that's not what you need. That's not what you deserve. Again, I don't want to put down every brother that has been in jail or is currently in jail, because there are some good guys that make poor decisions or may be caught up in the wrong place at the right time for the cop's sake. And unfortunately, that's where they land themselves. But yeah, when they doing that kind of stuff, girl, cut them, clip them. It's not that deep. It is not that deep. Good to see you, Queen. Thank you. Good to have you here. Good to be back. Sierra laughing. She said, I didn't do teacher appreciation while virtual. Honestly, I was like, nope. Listen, Linda. I felt the ways, though. I can't lie about that. Yeah, we all stuck together and stuff, but I think they should have did a little something for us parents, because it was rough. I used to follow this channel. I can't think of the name of it right now, but this girl had, I think it's Proud Mommy of 8 is her channel name here on YouTube. Very, very, very good channel. She is a young lady, and I believe only 3 of the children, because she just had a third, I believe, is her own. The other 5 are her nieces and nephews that she took and adopted. And so I commend this young lady. She has a very nice channel. And you cannot tell that those other 5 children are not. If you didn't know the backstory, you would think that they were all hers. Because she don't treat them any differently. If I don't tell, like, if I can tell you about this channel now, you can go watch it. But you're not going to be able, unless she point out who's who, to tell which ones are hers and which ones aren't, because she treats them all the same. And she's a young girl. She's like maybe 30 now. Can y'all imagine? She kept them kids together. And she took on that responsibility, and she did what she had to do. And after she had this last baby, which is probably 1 now, or maybe not even 1 yet, was working and everything. I mean, she had it going on. But I brought her up to say, back when the pandemic happened, she had it set up in her living room and, well, her dining room and kitchen area. She had all those kids set up with their Chromebooks. She had these little, like, partitions. She had one over here at a little desk, one over here. She had them all separated. She was going around like an instructor teaching them kids. And I think, hey, I had 4. I had my 3 little ones and my oldest grandson. It was a bit much. So I could imagine her with the 7, because she had the 7 at the time. And she was on top of everything. She had a AM routine where she got them like up and dressed and everything like that. So yeah. If I saw how she did it, of course, Strong Mommy Chrissy had to do it. We all had to do it, but I'm thinking of like the larger families. But to be honest, all of the really, really large families that I follow here on YouTube, they homeschool their kids. And I'm amazed by that. But I think it is easier when you are a mother and you have 10, 12 kids to go ahead and homeschool them. It's less dramatic, I'm sure. I really want to homeschool these boys. I really, really do. I see a lot of benefits with that. I don't like when other people's children expose your children to negative things. And the first thing, when your child get into some type of trouble in school, the first thing they want to say is, what's going on at the home? 90% of the time, they don't learn it at home. You got to think about that bus ride to and from school and all the different kids that they encounter. You got to think about the friends that they choose while they're in school and the different things that they encounter. You got to think about when they in babysitters and the different things that they encounter. Stop blaming everything on this occurred or this, started at the home, because that's not necessarily the case. And I'm sure that a lot of parents that will view this will agree. Of course, that's the first. They don't want to say it happened in the school. They don't want to take ownership over it. But I'm gonna be honest. Things that my kids do here, at school, they wouldn't do here.
I'm glad this little snippet came up, because when little lady turned 5, I'm losing my jobs. We're gonna do homeschooling, and we haven't decided if she'll go to school for middle school or high school, and the rest of her siblings following. It when you have it, you have it. Everybody doesn't have it, but there is no way they're going to investigate to figure out what's going on where stuff is coming from. They can't. They're overwhelmed, and okay, it's understandable. But y'all need to bring everybody back to these schools, because the teachers are overwhelmed. Everybody's overwhelmed. It's a lot going on in this world, and especially now, even more so. It's not like back in the day, where they had all the supports, the NTAs, the teacher assistants, and everything. Now it's just a mess.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And the first thing they always want to do is blame it on or ask you. And it's very offensive with them even asking you, inquiring something like that. Is anything going on at the home? And especially when you hear from your kids that they were questioned at the school about something, it puts you in a negative headspace. You're never going to approach that meeting positively. You're never. Because you already have your target set. So 9 times out of 10, when the parents is called to the school, they're ready. They're ready for them teachers. I don't know if them teachers though. They come in, hey, how you doing? I'm such and such as I'm the counselor, and I'll be looking like later for all that. I don't even have to speak to them, because my mind is already at, I'm gonna light you up, because I don't appreciate my child telling me that you asked him X, Y, and Z. So that's not going to be a very productive meeting. Didn't do teacher appreciation. Okay. Wait, Tamika said he was your husband. Oh, wow. So, Tamika, did he get locked up early on in the marriage? Is that how you ended your marriage? Erica to wake me up. What? What is Sierra talking about? Was a shocker to the teachers too. We didn't know what to do either. Right. Okay. COVID. Trust me, we would rather have the kids in class. It would have been easier, because that online stuff was a whole joke. I mean, we had to improvise and do what we had to do. I get it, but those kids didn't take that education seriously when they was doing it virtually. That's what I was worried about. If I did, okay. Never had the pleasure of dating someone in jail. Really? Girl. I would have never expected that response from you, Deandra. Judith, he actually was a good draw. Oh my God. That was it for she. So, see, Judith, he was a good draw. I told her, look, some of them can draw. Don't take that man's talent away. Girl, exactly. I cannot ever do that again. Listen. What scarf, Sierra? What is it? The baby had a scarf or something? Oh, my hair scarf? Oh, okay. Lord have mercy. Who is that? Lizelle, mega love shout out from Team Happy. Thank you for being here. Appreciate having you. At the beginning of the marriage. Oh, wow. Tamika, that must have been rough. So you guys were married already, or were you one that married when he was incarcerated? I'm sorry to be invasive. I'm just asking because, listen, I had jot down before we got started when I was setting this thing up. I don't know if anybody in here aside of me and Judith and maybe Sierra watch Love After Lockup. But my favorite ones were Sarah, Michael, and I think the black girl in that triangle was Megan. Okay. Favorite ones. I call them the OGs of the show. Because listen, no storyline that came after theirs was as good as theirs to me. I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of them, don't get me wrong, but none of the storylines that came after theirs could live up to theirs. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys, again, if anybody watched it, there was a couple, and I just heard the other day that the guy passed away. I can't remember either one of their names right now that I'm thinking about it, and I think I remembered it the other day when I heard it. But anyway, so the woman, she was a little older. I think she was Hispanic, and she had like a daughter that was like maybe like early, like 21, 22, and her daughter really didn't appreciate her messing with that man and taking advantage of him. Like, she was just taking his money basically. I remember that storyline the day that, let's see, she got out of prison, because she was the one locked up, and she ran and jumped on him and knocked his tooth out. Anybody know that storyline? And she used that man for his money over and over, and then he had this woman, this black woman that was like his best friend, that was telling him like, why do I want to keep saying the woman's name is like Lacey or Laney or something like that? Scott. I've just seen it. Yeah, Scott passed away. I didn't know that. I didn't know he passed away. Somebody just told me like a week ago. Yeah. Lizzie, that's it. I was like, Laney, yeah. At the beginning of the marriage. Oh, wow. Y'all were already married. Okay. She said, Miss Wanda, I'm a square when it comes to dating. I've been with my husband since I was 21. Before that, I was with a boy for 3 years. Oh, my God. Bless your heart. You know what? That's a wonderful thing. That is a beautiful thing. That's not a square, honey. That's not a square. I tell people all the time, when they can say, if I've only been with, that's a beautiful thing. Because I don't know very many women, especially my age, that can say, I've dated only X amount of men, and it's less than these 5 fingers. I can tell you that right now. Some of them go through that many in a month. So that's a beautiful thing, honey. Baby, that's something to be proud of. You watch Love After Lockup. Okay, that's the Woods way. She said, oh, hush, D. Yeah, that, listen. I told you guys earlier, I did date someone that was incarcerated. And this was my younger years. Oh, Wanda want to do favors for people. That's how I got caught up with the guy I was with. I told y'all I did a favor before. This was my second favor. I even told y'all back then there was another favor. Here it is. The first one was when I went out with the guy. My girlfriend was with the friend, and he brought a friend along, and I went with them, and it was the most miserable date I've ever gone on, and I just couldn't take it no more, and I eventually left. That was one. He was a very nice guy, but he just wasn't for me, like dating wise. I didn't see him like that. And but this other incident, my girlfriend was going to see some guy in prison. She asked me if I could come along to see the guy's friend, somebody who was also in prison, just because I was going to go with her for the ride. So in order to get into the facility, I had to be seeing somebody too. So I agreed to this craziness. And we were like, what? I think I was like 23 at the time. So that just tells you. So I go along for this foolishness. Probably not even 23. I think we were like 21. Yeah, just legal because she just started driving. Right. So I go along with that foolishness. And the guy actually turned out to be a nice guy that they had me sitting there. And of course I had to sit there and chit chat with this guy and kind of get to know him. And of course, he wanted to keep up tabs with me, and of course, stay in contact. And that whole thing, that phone, because he was in there for, that was one of the first questions I asked him. What was he in there for? Tax evasion and money laundering. So he had a bid. He had already been in there for about 4 years, and he was looking at 6 more. I did that bid with him, y'all. Meaning, I didn't go up there. I went up there a total of 2 times. I went up there one more time after that. But I did accept his phone calls and stuff, which I would rather, now looking at it now, I should have gone to visit him more versus taking all them expensive phone calls and stuff, because it wasn't worth it. But I did take the phone calls and stuff. I remember, and y'all remember back then, them phone bills used to be sky high when you took those calls. But yeah, I talked to this guy for about 6 years. And it just kind of aligned with what I had going on in my life at the time, because that was when I call myself abstaining. So it kind of worked out. And I was concentrating on just my education and my son, raising my son. So everything kind of worked out. I wasn't sleeping with anybody. I wasn't really dating anybody. So taking his phone calls was not, in my eyes, a big deal. But obviously, yes, it was, because he had his heart set on, ready for this, being paroled to my apartment. I was like, absolutely not. I don't know how you got that caught up, because that was never a part of my plans. I was just, to me, chit-chatting with somebody like a pen pal, but on the phone. And, he was writing too, but I'm just saying, it's the things you do when you're younger. That was the extent of it. That was on a favor. But it ended up lasting, like I said, 6 years. And what was funny is when he finally was released, he did. And he resided in New York. So he did drive to Jersey to see me one evening. And we might have spent like 2 hours together, because he had to go back because he had a curfew. Because I told you, on the other end, you still have a lot of obligations to fulfill with parole and or probation or something like that. And it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't see anything coming out of it. And I'm glad that I was smart enough, even in my younger years, to look at it like longevity. What am I going to do with this situation? Absolutely nothing. This guy, trying to make me feel bad because I didn't let him. That's what those 2 hours was about. He was trying to make me feel bad about not letting him get paroled to my apartment. Like, it's just you and your son. We could be a happy little family. And then I'm like, your mom got to take care of you. I'm taking care of my son, and your mom need to take care of her son. And that was just crazy. And I just couldn't see nobody taking advantage of me. I don't care how young I was. I was bright enough to look like, listen, I'm doing all this for my future, and I'm going to let this piss poor, broke down behind guy come, and I don't think so. So, my head, I had to look at stuff like, why did you even waste 6 years, like, entertaining him? I'm glad that he was incarcerated and that we didn't spend physical time together, because I would have felt slighted. But I clipped him right after that first visit. He, of course, kept reaching out and stuff. And I was like, telling him, like, no, I'm not interested. And I guess he thought, that whole con mentality, that he can talk me back into it. But it was a no-go for me. And he was a very nice looking guy. And my girlfriends was like, oh my God, I can't believe you don't want to be, I don't care how nice looking he looked. That doesn't have anything to do with the character, because I didn't see his mental changing. Like, to me, the conversation I was holding that night, it felt like he was going to be up to the same stuff. And no, I'm not about that life. I'm not into that. No, he's not going to bring me down. Trying to go back in here. Welcome in Desia's life. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate having you. Never dated anyone in jail. Don't think I would save myself for him. more than 2 years. That is a long time. I told you it was 6 years, but like I said, it kind of lined up with what I had going on because I was abstaining and I wasn't seeing anybody, of course, and I was just concentrating on school and my son, so he was just something to do, I guess, to pass time. And I won't lie, the conversations got interesting. He used to make me laugh and giggle a lot on the phone, you know. And I will admit, I used to feel uncomfortable when he used to always try to force me to say I love you, because I'm not one of them that toss that around. That was the most uncomfortable part of it. Every time it was time to hang up, I would try to let that machine hurry up and hang that phone up. And he was like, say I love you, say I love you. And I can't do it. I don't believe in playing around with the word love, just like I don't like when people use the opposite word, hate. I don't like playing. They some very strong, powerful words. Kha'yair come out of the kitchen. She say, he just making himself comfortable, Miss Wanda. Where he jumped. That man was like, scoot over, I'm coming home. Yeah, right. Listen, I shut it down, Deandra. I don't think that he thought he could get shut down. I think he thought, his game was like, I was like, boy, bye. Nope. Before boy, bye was a thing, I was like, boy, bye. Phenocos, welcome. Finesse, welcome. Rosalie, thank you all for coming in. Mega Love Shutout, Team Happy. Yes, love is a very strong word. And I tell people, do not play around with it. If you don't love somebody, don't tell them that. It's something that happens. It's like a switch. It's the same way that I told you, ladies, like once you become, like you could meet a guy and y'all could be like, I'm looking for nothing serious, me either, whatever. And y'all both can be in that same headspace. But the moment y'all become intimate, that changes. It changes because you think the other person start becoming territorial when it comes to you, and vice versa, you with them. So the moment you hear that somebody can say, oh, I just seen such and such around the corner, that girl was all up in his face, you're going to get mad. If one of the fellas say to him, like, yo, that joint such and such looking good, I'm going to see if I can smash that, he's going to get mad. Because it becomes territorial the moment you become intimate. It's true. Listen, it happens every single time. A lot of people are in denial and try to fight it, but it really is true. Even if you try to act like you're not jealous, inside it's bothering you. The moment you talk to that person, you're going to question them. Because you became attached. Especially if it was good. If it was good, you automatically going to take that thing to the next level. You're not going to let nobody else get that. So that's how that goes. What she say? Don't say that if you don't mean it. Right. Because I believe the act of sex, which makes it worse when you do. Listen. Especially if you don't love the person and y'all intimate and you say it at that moment, you messed up. If you say it, timing is everything. If you say it during the act of being intimate, you open up another whole can of worms. You have to be very mindful playing around with people like that. Let me go back to Finesse said, I dated, yes, my boyfriend, and then he did perhaps get incarcerated. Oh, wow, Finesse. Oh, my gosh. Did you stay with him? Did you stay with him or did you leave? I want to see how you think about these things. Wow. Yeah. I want to see how are they handling it in other areas of the world. Do you stick by them, or do you say nope, later for this for the birds? Yes, I can't even act like I like or love a person. My personality shows how I'm really feeling, but when I do, I love hard. You're like me then, Precious. I cannot sit around and fake the phone. If I'm not happy, and this is in any situation, not even just dating, at work, at church, just in my living room, if I'm mad at my husband, my face is going to tell it all. I cannot hide it. I wear those emotions right here. A lot of people, and I said this before, they be like, fix your face. Because I'm mentally planning my strategy, or just thinking about how somebody's wronged me, or just something that just pissed me off, and it's all right here. I can't pretend. That's just like smiling up in somebody's face that I don't particularly care for. I can't do that. Sometimes you're going to have girlfriends, and maybe the girlfriends of the girlfriend don't get along. Then don't bring me around her, because it's not going to be nothing nice. I'm going to take jabs. And I'm going to watch her like a hawk. And the moment she do something wrong, I'm going to chop her down. So don't even bring me around her if you don't want me to disrupt y'all vibe, because I can't pretend. I don't play like that. Even when I first meet, when I was single and I first met a new gentleman, that date, it wasn't all that. No. I was there to interrogate you. I mean, if you answered things right and the vibe was there and I was feeling you, you can get some smiles and maybe a couple chuckles. But for the most part, like, this is business. I'm here to see what you got. Let's put your stuff down on the tables. Let me see what you're working with. Because I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm not going to waste yours either. Let's see what they're saying. Joy Link, welcome. Mega love shout out. Thank you for coming in. Go ahead, Judith.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. My face tells everything. Probably even before my mouth will say anything. It's no hiding. I can't hide it. I can't hide anything. Sorry. As y'all who do know, I'm an open book, and it's no secret. And my face tell before my mouth will get to tell you anything. And it's a good thing, and it's a blessing and a curse, as they say. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, what that song says, written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Listen, that's me all day, every day. She say, me too, positive mother. My face tells the truth, and my mouth isn't. Listen, Deandra, I keep telling you, I have you down. You're very similar to myself. I can see it. I get that from your personality and stuff. You straight face. Even when I go into your live stream, I could just see you in my live stream, and we could be laughing and busting it up. But if you say, like, when Miss Wanda's live stream is over, I'm going live, and we go over there, it's a whole new ball game. I can see it in your face. Like, when you're up there with your girls, it's about business. It's funny, though, but I love it. I love it because, yeah, you are supposed to be different in the different environments. Okay, it's a time for play, but I'm about business right here, and I'm not playing. And especially when it comes to, like, my husband and my family, I ain't smiling too much, y'all, unless we're in, like, a social gathering and it's supposed to be fun. Other than that, I'm not playing too many games. I do as well. My family be like, what's wrong? Right. Listen, people can tell. Even my coworkers just be like, what's wrong with you? Fix your face. I explain to myself, you going to see what's wrong with me in the field with so-and-so coming here, because I'm going to light that behind up like a Christmas tree. And one thing about me, if you show your behind in front of a crowd, I'm going to get you in front of a crowd. So it's best, if you want to show your butt with me, you better do it with me, just me and you, because I believe in matching energy, honey. If you do something to show your behind, take notice of the environment, because that's just where I'm going to get you back. She said, you better absolutely listen. Don't play no games. Not at all. Jomar, welcome. Mega love shout out, Team Happy. Appreciate you being here. it's a New York thing because I'm from New York, and my face says it all. Absolutely. What part of New York are you from? I'm curious. Oh my God. Listen, I have female cousins all over New York. And listen, my maiden last name is Chandler. Listen, we don't play them games. They be like, them Chandler girls, yeah. My cousins from South Carolina and stuff, they be like, listen, cousin, the Chandler came out. I said, I know that's right. They don't want none of that. And my cousins up here, one time, y'all, I'm so silly. I posted in my Facebook group. I have a family group over on Facebook. And I went in there and post one morning. It was too funny. Male cousins too. They was hilarious. I was like, cousins, I just got jumped in my dreams. Everybody better come. They all sent emojis. I mean, sent over like they was jumping in the bed and getting ready. I was dying. Like, that was crazy. They gonna go to sleep real quick because they gonna find out who jumped their cousin in her dreams. I was like, y'all are so crazy. But that's how my family is. They down. And my family, they're from all over. So when I posted that morning, and I left, but when I came back later and seeing how all of them was posting how they was falling asleep real quick, and one of my cousins had some Timbs and some Vaseline, she ready to fall asleep. I was like, this girl is so crazy. She said, oh, my friend Cutthroat. Yeah, I am. Listen, especially when it comes to hubby and the kids. Like my family, period. My mom, oh my God, please. My mom told me a story today, and I was like, Mom, please don't tell me that and make me, and you know I'm not 100%, but I will be for a few seconds to go handle that, because she said she was in the Boscovs at the mall, and she was, at the register, and some little lady came behind her, and she said my mom was in front of the woman, of course, and was trying to take care of her transaction, and the woman was getting a little flip at the lip behind her, and she was like, and my mom, older too, talking about, well, she was a little old lady, I didn't want to get smart with her, but she kept getting smart with me. I said, well, I wouldn't have had a problem with getting smart with her if she kept getting smart with you. It's one thing to do it once and you let it go, but if she kept doing it. She said, so finally, she just kept going on and on. I had to say something back, and then here come her daughter. I said, wait a minute now. Story just had, listen, you ain't even got to tell me the rest. Here come her daughter, what? She was like, calm down, Wanda, calm down. I said, you still around there? Listen, because me and them kids was about to get that van. Y'all hear me? She was like, no, I said to the daughter, like, she going to say, well, my mom's hard of hearing, so you don't have to talk to her like that. I said, well, what the hard of hearing got to do with her talking slick to you? I said, well, you should have told her I'm calling my daughter who's hard of hearing, and she going to come talk to you about this. I said, but you still around there? Listen, she would not answer me. She would not answer me. I don't play when it comes to that. I would have went around there and so polite, and you know it takes them quite a bit of time to do a transaction in them Boscovs and stuff. They are older people working, and they slow and moving slow and gotta go check things. I said, oh, I got enough time to get there. Remember, all my kiddos' PJs look like short sets, so we stay ready. Listen, we can go at any time. You can call me early in the morning. Girl, I broke down. I need a ride. I can be like, put y'all sandals on. Let's go. Because they're out there, their bedclothes look like real short sets and so I say that all the time. We stay ready. But yeah, please don't play with my mom. Don't do that. Don't do that. She had my blood pressure all up. I say, listen, don't do that. If it ain't nothing I can do about it, please. I see why y'all be like, don't tell Wanda. I get it. I do get why they always say that. But please don't disrespect my mom. Just like the woman didn't want my mom saying it. I don't want you to say nothing to my mom either. She should have been there at the register with her mom. So true. We are so much alike. Y'all, if looks could kill, listen, a few bodies. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like I said, I match energy. You get exactly what you give. I don't give out too many passes. You might get passes if my kids are with me, because I will never act inappropriately in front of them. Trust and believe. You know, at those Boscovs, them registers you can see at them doors, I'd have so politely parked in my van. I could have that thing running. They could be watching TV, but as long as the keys with me, it ain't going nowhere. Oh, the kids would have stayed in the van, but I would have went inside to handle that. What she say? I'm sorry, I took it down. I hate to say the suburbs. Oh, okay. White Plains. Wow. Right outside of Yonkers, right over there with who was that? DMX. Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and the Bronx. Okay. Yeah, my cousins are in Manhattan, Queens, the Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx. That's where my brother-in-law is from. But I do have cousins over there too. Staten Island, yeah, all over, all over. I had 7 aunts that lived all throughout New York. So with them having their kids and then their grandchildren, like they're all over New York. Now I don't visit often as I should, and it's please don't ask me to drive in New York. That's a no. I don't even really want to drive in Philly. Judith laugh at me all the time. She from Philadelphia, and she drive crazy to me, and I'm like, can them people in front of you make their turn first? Oh, they in my way, them Jersey drivers. Oh, girl, listen, my nerves can't take it. Normally, when I'm going like to Philadelphia or New York, I'll drive to get us there. But before we get over that bridge, I'll pull over and be like, now get them soon over, because I'm not doing the rest. And when we get back over the bridge into Jersey, I'll take the wheel for you again. But I'm not doing it because my nerves can't take it. So I know that's right, Queen. Yeah, with my mom. Mm-hmm. I would have been like, where the little lady at? Listen, Linda. I wanted to go around there and see that little lady and her daughter, because I didn't appreciate her daughter saying nothing to my mom. My family don't like to tell me nothing because they know I'm easygoing. But yeah, listen, that's me. That's me. Whenever we have like functions that we like host and somebody got to be at the door handling the money and stuff, they be like, put Wanda on the door, because they know I'm not going to let nobody get over. I'm not. Whenever it's anything confrontational or somebody need to represent on behalf of the family and stuff, they always come after me because they know I got that mouthpiece. I don't mind speaking up. I don't mind addressing people. And I do things respectfully. Don't think I always go there, inappropriately. But when it's time to shut it down, I shut it down. Don't put somebody on there that somebody going to challenge them and they ain't going to have no answer, because I'm too... I got you. I can make up some stuff. Oh, whatever the rules say, I'll make up something. The policy is policy. There ain't nowhere in the policy, but I'll make it credible. So yeah, I'm that one child. Whenever they need something written, or they be like, give it to Wanda, let her, because she can write something. She can cuss somebody out. Yes, I can. I got the gift, honey. And Todd, welcome. Mega love shout out. Michelle, thank you for coming in. Appreciate having you here. All the team happy. Mega love shout out. So yeah, see, Tamika said it was her actual marriage, and they were married before. So yeah, I mean, in that situation, that's your hubby. You gotta hold them down. In most cases they do. Like Apollo was saying last night, Phaedra didn't. He said that Phaedra was cold-blooded when it was time for him to get sentenced, when it was time for him to surrender himself and all that. She never showed up. She did not want to be attached to that. It wasn't fair that you was out here behaving that way, and she didn't know about it because she said it. A lot of people kept saying she had to know. No, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm going to tell you why I know this to be true. Back in the 90s in New Jersey, there was a very, very dangerous group of men who called themselves, and I'm not sure if anybody ever heard of it, but you can Google it and you're going to hear some things. They were called, I'm trying to get it, Sons of Malcolm X. Why would they name themselves that? I don't know. They did all types of crime. They were doing killing sprees right where I was from in Camden. And it was organized crime. They had these 2 brothers. You could look it up. I won't call nobody names because I know these people personally. I won't do that. 2 brothers were the head. Their mother was a part of this operation. And they had roles, y'all, like secretary, guards. You know, they had different titles on it, assistants. And these people had individuals out on the streets of Camden. So they had different guys out assigned to trap, mean sell drugs, and they had shifts. This is how organized it was. They knew who was supposed to be on what sets. Now, mind you, it goes from front all the way up to 10th Street and all the little streets and stuff in between. They like owned that neighborhood, and they had different guys out there trapping. You trap from this hour to this hour, then this one come and relieve you. Like it was a whole job. And I was dating this guy. This was back then, you know, you dated in your neighborhood. I think I had 2 years on the guy. Listen, I was like, what was I? I was 17 at the time. No, 18. 18 was the year after I had my son. So 18, yeah. And they, like, I knew the guy sold drugs because you knew that everybody around you sold drugs, but I didn't know it was this deep. And we knew about all the killings, the senseless killings that was happening night after night after night after night after week after week. And then it became like North Camden against South Camden, against East Camden against Pollock, against Parkside. It was, everything became territorial up there. But everybody was afraid to come in North Camden, which was the danger zone. That's where a lot of people were killed and stuff. And like if somebody from out of another town was in North Camden at a party, they were getting killed that night. It just was sad, but that's what happened. And long story short, the cops obviously were watching these people for quite some time, and then they came in, and it was a big old drug raid and bust, and it was in the papers where the two guys that were the head, that I told you were the brothers, were incarcerated, and their mother, and then all these people. That's how it came out to the news, that they had secretaries and assistants and guards, and they had people that literally rode around from block to block watching to make sure this one's on his post and this one's doing what he's supposed to be doing and all this crazy stuff. But when they did that big thing where they actually arrested all these people, the guy that I told you I was dating was caught up in it, and he was one of the big people. This guy used to come see me every day and was just like the sweetest little teddy bear you ever wanted to know. But people have another side, and he was out there. He did, listen, this guy did, he's out now, but he did 17 years behind that. When that stuff hit the paper and I saw his name, I was blown away. Like, what? Like, and of course, once it all the stuff hit the fan, then everybody want to tell you what they know. So the streets was talking. And I was like, when they were telling me stories about him, they was like, I couldn't understand why you kept hanging around him. And I'm like, clearly I didn't know. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, but it happens. You don't always know who you're with. And I keep telling women, you have to be very careful. You have to do background checks. You have to, like I said, when they introduce you to them cousins and stuff like that, or you meet somebody from their past, you need to talk to these people. Stop turning your face up, giving people the stank face and acting like you're unapproachable, because don't people probably know something you need to know. A lot of people do that. You shoot yourself in the foot. They probably got some good info for you, and you blocked it. You blocked it. Say you too fast for them. Listen, they can't get over on me. She said, right, everybody ain't witty. Gotta think quick on your feet. Right, someone is making smart comments at me. Please believe I'ma come back with something quick. Exactly. You working on not being so cutthroat? It's necessary sometimes. I mean, you don't have to take it in every environment. I'm trying to tone it down, in certain climates, but at the same time, it's out there. Don't even come at her sideways. Don't. They know. People know. It's all in, like I said, it's all in my grill, girl. Like, I can go into an environment right now where I'm meeting new people. The look on my face is going to let them know, don't try me. Yeah, but you guys, you could look that up. Panama City, welcome, Queen. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate having you. Gina Rose, mega love shout out. Team Happy, appreciate you coming in. We're just talking about if anyone has ever dated someone that was incarcerated. We're just having some girl talk over here tonight. Just talking about some past relationships, or even if it wasn't you, somebody else that you know who dated someone, or just the way the men that's in the prison system are so slick. How they con these women into dating them and possibly marrying them and taking care of them and putting the money on their books, and how they be having multiple women up there seeing them, women fighting over them and all kind of stuff. Listen, this is a major topic here because this stuff happens all the time. All the time. Judith, can you take over for a second?
Yeah, it's been Philadelphia and Camden. It seems like almost has done a flip flop. It's Philadelphia has become one of the biggest violent places in America. Like, I don't think we've ever been in top 5, and I'm sure we're holding in top 5 somehow. We could be number 1 with murders, but it's just not good up here. And it's unfortunately we moved back to Philadelphia. We're like in a secure building, but at the end of the day, we're still in Philadelphia. We tried to stay in New Jersey. It just didn't work out at that time. Hopefully, we'll be getting back over there by the time our lease is up here. But it's, you just have to be careful everywhere. And Philly, back in the day, they had gangs and all kind of stuff too. The same stuff they do now. The black people killing the black people. And, it's horrible. And hopefully people will start waking up. We raise some of these generations different. And hopefully, we'll get something through.
It's unfortunate, but people date, like I said, what's in their environment. If you're being raised in the hood, then it's the hood guys and chicks. Because these chicks nowadays are strapping their Timbs up harder than these guys. They out there selling drugs and popping pills just like these guys. Like, I'm not understanding when that became sexy. Why do you want a woman that's standing out on the corner doing the same thing as you? Why do you want a woman that won't work nowhere? Just out there thugging just as hard as you? Like, what about that is sexy? Why don't you just date another man? If that's the case, that just makes absolutely no sense to me. When did it not become a thing to want to date a woman that is dainty and feminine and got things going for herself, like with potential? Like, when did that not become a thing? Like, what happened? Why did we just take our morals and lay them down by the wayside like that? And women, why do we just want a thug all the time? That's the problem. We be targeting the wrong men. Like, I still know grown women that will go in the bar and will choose the worst man in the bar to leave with that night. You'll have a nice, classy gentleman. He probably just came in from, out of town or a business meeting or whatever. She'll completely look over that brother. Completely look over. You know what used to be sexy to me when I was coming up, younger adult years? When I saw a man in his work clothes like he just came off a construction site. Like, that was sexy to me. They was like, ew, he all dirty. Do you know where this man is coming from? Like, make this make sense. Why you want the one that's leaning like this in his car, driving up the street all slow? Like, what do you want from him? That man that you're passing up can give you way more than that brother leaning over in that car. Like, what? Make this make sense. And when do we get over that as women? Like, how old are you going to be before you start doing things differently? When do we see that the choices that we're making, we keep landing in the same spot, back at ground zero? So when do we do something different? When do we reach back and go into plan B? Why do we keep sticking with A when it just doesn't work? Why? Again, like I said, you just keep running into the wall, just banging your head in the wall, but you're not going to do anything different. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Don't you want a beautiful home and a beautiful family? And don't you want to live in peace? There is no living in peace when you're dating those guys out in the streets like that. And why ever are these men 40 plus, 30 plus, whatever, why are they still in those streets? Like, when do you know the game is not for you? When do you give it up? When do you decide? Just like with rappers, like, at a certain age, they shouldn't be out there rapping and stuff no more. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So when do you do things different? If they're not doing something different, okay, fine, that's them. But when do you?
A lot of times, unfortunately, families aren't honest with a lot of these men. Coming up, they're not being grounded. They're not being, listen, it's okay to chase your dreams, but once you get a certain age, it's time to start looking into something else. These conversations are not happening. And it's unfortunate, and it doesn't mean that you're not talented, but your talent isn't getting you anywhere. And you're running, chasing after this dream. In the meantime, your mom or your dad is telling you need to do something, you get out, and it's just too, instead of, it's nothing wrong with having dreams. But if it's not getting you anywhere, we have to, there you go, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I just think it's sad when I see older women still out here doing the same things that these young girls do. Because you're not teaching your offsprings or the younger women in your community or in your family, you're not teaching them anything good. You're giving them a false sense of reality. You're making them think that it's okay to let these men go upside their head because you want them to take care of you. You know you got to dance to the beat of their drum. All of that goes hand in hand. That's not cool. You got to teach them to get their own. They do not have to go to the prison to meet a man. They don't. I have more respect for those women that go down to the army bases and stuff to meet the men. At least they looking for some real potential. I don't like the way they go about that either, but I mean, it's a better outcome all the way around. We as women need to do a self-assessment. I can't say this enough. Sometimes we are the problem. Because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. And I just believe in letting things happen naturally. Yeah, sometimes people going to fix you up. But I see more successful relationships when things happen kind of naturally. Like you meet the person on your own. And it doesn't matter if you meet them like on a dating site, virtually or whatever. You just meet them on your own. You go at your own pace. You don't have any outside interferences unless you bring somebody into the dynamics of your relationship. But just get to know people. That's the problem. People don't. They too quick to hop into bed. You got to get to know people. Make sure this is what you want. Check out the quality of the individual. Fakwa, welcome. Mega love shout out. Thank you for coming in, sweetheart. Appreciate having you here. I don't want no damn thugs. I'm gonna give them the time of day. Absolutely. I love a man in uniform. That's what I'm talking about. And they're the brothers that get overlooked. Because women think they're corny. They don't talk like that other brother. They ain't walking, they ain't slinging it like the other brother. That's whack. Get out of here. Listen, is that who you really want to bring home to meet your parents? Image is everything. Listen, a lot of women claim that they can be independent, but they want a man to provide. Listen, they all do. They all do. If you did a survey and you had 100 women in the room and you asked them that, would they rather be independent or have their man take care of them? A lot of them living in that fantasy world. They want to be like Nene Leakes, Kim Zolciak, Candy Burrs. All of that come with a very big price tag. Those ladies have money, but are they happy? What do they show on TV? They carry on just like us regular poor folk. And even worse in my eyes. You got all that money, you can't go be productive. You can't go figure out how to invest in and bring in more streams of income. You out here arguing over who didn't speak or who getting closer to this friend this week. And girl, please miss me with that. If I got that kind of money, I'm doing everything and vacationing and living my best life. I don't got time for that. I don't have time for it now and I ain't got no money. How about that? But a lot of women want to live that lifestyle. It's so sad. Anybody ever see the movie, what was that one called? It's with, Just Right. Queen Latifah and Common. Very good movie. Very good movie. Her cousin, what was her name in there? Morgan, was staying with her. Didn't want to work a regular 9 to 5. Just wanted that fast life. Kept trying to meet, like, hang out at the games and stuff. Because she was a pretty woman. And she wanted to meet the ball players. And Queen Latifah, who was the regular, everyday, I think what was she working as? A rehab specialist. And she was overlooked by Common's character. And it took for an incident for him to get injured and for her to go over and help him out. And it slowly happened, but again, it happened naturally, organically, and that's who he eventually ended up with. There was a hiccup where Morgan visited the home and tried to get back with him after she left him because of the injury, because she thought his career was over. And he, like many brothers, he went back. But when he went back and he saw that everything was wrong, everything about her, all the wrong in her just was like revealed to him. Something as simple as him in the room playing the piano and she asked to close the door because she didn't want to hear it, where Queen Latifah loved it. Everything about Queen Latifah became appealing to him once what did he do? He took 80% and cashed it in and took 20 back. We talked about that recently, how people always make the poor decision. Because you look like you're lacking that 20%, it look real good. But you're not thinking you're about to get rid of 80 and only have 20. And that's what happened. But trust and believe, when he realized it, he showed up. He went and got her. That was a great way that they put that movie together to show how we just make all the wrong choices. And we go through a lot. We can get it right in the end. But always in the beginning, we make the poor choices. But we have to remember it's grandmas and grandpas in their 30s and 40s, right? And they party with their kids who they had between 12 and 16. You okay? Some of them still learning. Some of them ain't even get the learning yet. That's the sad part. And I say that all the time. The reason a lot of things have gone amok in this world is because ain't no more big mamas. Big mamas done died out. These new grandmoms. I'm a grandma too, but I ain't out there. I'm not gonna be partying with my grandkids. I ain't even want to be nowhere with my son. Like, no, that don't even look right. Definitely don't feel right. That's your favorite movie? Okay. Yeah, I can watch that. Listen, I told y'all sometimes when I can't find something on Philo or Netflix or any of, I go right back down to my DVDs and stuff, and I'll put it in, and that's one of them that sits on the top because that's one of the ones I'm going to reach for first. Yes, they're confused. Absolutely, absolutely. We got to get it together. As grown women, we got to get it together. I miss grandmas and grandpas teaching us how to cook and plant food. Listen, we need that right now. Look at what's going on with the economy. A lot of people are resorting back to planting and gardening, and you're going to have to. You're going to have to take care of and make your and get your own crops going because it's gonna save you some money as far as produce is concerned, and then you can put that, your monies that you have somewhere else. Listen, I keep telling people, listen. Yes, the government is giving out the PEBT. And we're getting right now, for people that's getting like the whole 2021 to 2022 school year, plus the summer benefits. I saw what happened the last time when they gave out the lump sums. People were just taking that money and just going through it. This girl, just the other day, was bragging like, I got over $5,000 worth of stamps. But she didn't have no intentions on budgeting it, because that's what I do when they give us hours. I keep saying it, people probably think I get stamps for these kids. No, I don't month to month. I only get it when they give out PEBT. Why you think I be tracking it so hard? Because I want people like me who work hard and can't get these benefits, when we finally are able to get it, I want you to know about it. I take that money and I budget it, and I can tell you how long I have it designed to last me, because I'm going to spend it just like I do when they're not giving that kind of stuff out, and I have to spend that same type of money out of my budget. I know that, and I tell people, like, as long as you make some type of activity, you can make one transaction in 30 days, they will not mess with your money on your card. So you need to budget that. But a lot of people like breezed right through that money and it had nothing. And then I remember when I was still talking about it, and people was in my comment section like, oh man, I should have did that with mine. When they give us some more, well, if they give us some more, I'm like, right, if. Like, why ever would you just blow through it? But you know what? People have the mentality like, oh, this free money. No, it's never. It's never. So you just do whatever because you didn't work for it? That's crazy. That's more of a reason why you should have budgeted and made better decisions with it, because you don't know if you'll ever get that again. That's crazy. Same thing happened in Why Did I Get Married? Yup. That's actually where he actually talked about the 80-20 rule. Yup. Absolutely. He chose that beautiful girl, and he didn't realize how much he was going to want Jill back. Oh, he mistreated her. We all seen it. Oh, but when part 2 came around, baby, he was begging, wasn't he? Whispering all at the table. I was like, inappropriate. Her husband's there, and so was your little skank that you left her for. He all in her ear. Yeah, they told me about this 2080 rule. And I love the way Jill was like, boy, please. She was not trying to hear it. Because as much as she loved him, and in part 1 said that she felt like she was going to die without him, you would have thought that her character would have felt weak and she would have gave up Troy for this no good behind brother. But I'm so happy that Tyler Perry is that gifted that he did not let that sister let us down. Because she was doing that for all of us when he got to part 2. I loved it. She said, love that movie. The majority of young adults 50 and below don't know how to support or survive and take care of family. And you know what? You are right. You are right. And it's so sad that that number is 50 and below. But age and wisdom do not always coincide. As sad as it sounds, you would think that if you have a more seasoned woman who has been through some things, that she would pick herself up, dust herself off, and learn from it and apply it and move differently. That's not the case. Nowadays, they just go do the same thing all over again. They just move their target from one individual to the next. That's the slump that we have to get ourselves out of. Like, then they want to go get jealous of a different woman who do things totally different and get a better outcome. Now you want to sit back and be jealous and throw rocks and make insults and all that. Why are you mad at that woman? She ain't do nothing to you. Because she made better choices. Why are you mad at that woman? Because that's normally why women are jealous of one another. That's normally that whole crab in a barrel mentality. When we want to pull each other down. Oh, she thinks she cute. She don't think she cute. You think she cute. You're mad because she looks like that and you look like this. And not necessarily talking about beauty. We're going to talk about how you looked all aged because you was living that street life. Because that's the direction you choose to go in. She chose another route. She still look youthful. She looks great. She look damn good. Give that woman her props. Fix that queen's crown. Don't tear her down. What you should be doing is trying to mimic her. Okay, well, she did this. Maybe I need to do that. But we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to go up to a woman and say, sister, those shoes are sharp. We don't know how to do that anymore. You can admire something, but you won't tell the person. Why not? Why not? Why not tell her she's sharp? Why not tell her her hairstyle is nice? Why? Why not tell her her makeup is flawless? Why we can't do that? It's nothing wrong with giving compliments to each other. That's what we need to do. Who you think is going to do it? And then they be like, she's stuck on herself because she got to do it because you won't. That girl has done nothing to you. Why are you mad at her? Over here trying to destroy her stuff. Around here planting seeds about this girl and she ain't do nothing wrong to you. Like, that's crazy to me. Get your stuff together. Get your house in order. That's all. That's it. That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, listen. I can't do that that new grandma stuff, that millennial stuff. I can't do it. I'm not going to do anything that will have these kids questioning my behavior. It's not. Even when I told y'all earlier, me and the kids was going to load up in that van. Oh, but I told you, my van, as long as I got my keys, it ain't going nowhere. I'd have set them up with their cartoons. They would have never known nothing, honey. Me and my mom would have talked about the incident from the register to the car. But then mom's the word once we open the doors and get in, because those kids can't be privy to that type of stuff. Not at all. I have to protect them at all costs. And then, kids run their mouths. That's what I tell people. Y'all better watch them. They like little sponges. They absorb everything. And then they go blurt it out at all the wrong times. For you. Because it's at your expense. A lot of them don't correct those kids either. Got to stop doing that. Don't try to chastise them when you get them in public, because they're going to embarrass you. You don't do it at home, so you can't think it's going to work if you try it out in the public. You got to start it off when they're young. Get them on the right path. Give them some structure, because that's what these kids are missing. They're missing structure. My oldest grandson, I'm still peeling back the layers, because he was being raised completely different from the way I'm raising him now. Oh, but you can see where he's catching himself, where he's doing things the way he used to. And then he looked at, a lot of times what happened was when he saw me coming, God bless you, sweetie, he would jump. And I'm like, what are you jumping for? And he was like, oh, I'm like, listen, I'm not the big bad wolf. I know with me there's structure and you have to do things different from when you did with your other grandma, but you can't live here in fear. That is not it. That's not what I'm trying to teach you. What I'm trying to teach you is you have to do things. Be forthcoming with stuff. Don't try to sneak and do things and undermine me and do it behind my back. Come to me, present it to me. Either I'm going to tell you yes or I'm going to tell you no. But please don't let me catch you sneaking and trying to do something that you know that I'm not for. And so we got a handle on that because the jumping kind of stopped. It slowed down. It's still there a little bit. That's when I know he up to something. Because, I got to read body language too. This is new for me to have him here 100% of the time. I knew how he behaved when I got him, on weekends and holidays and summer break. But this is totally different because just like with a man, when you learn them when you live with him, right? So I'm learning different things. I'm seeing little different things that he do. So I'm now 100% certain that I can say that I know what he's capable of. And so if someone comes to me and say, he did X, Y, and Z, I can say, yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Just like the other kids. The other kids I raised, and I know exactly what they're capable of. But with him, it was a little different because I didn't always have him 100% of the time. But having him for the past 6 months, and I just realized today it's been 6 months. Well, just about, because she passed in March. And I had him even before she actually passed. So, yeah, we're going on 6 months that he's been here, and I'm still pulling back layers because he was wired differently from the way I brought up my kids and these other boys. So it's just going to take a little tweaking, but he's doing good overall. But there is still some areas of concern, and we're working on it. And I always say slow and steady wins. Yep, you're going to pay for it in the end, absolutely. And that's positive or negative. Thank you so much, Precious. Listen, I try. To me, and Judith is a new grandma. Her little princess is about to turn 1, so this is all new for her. 2, oh my God, right. I lost the whole year. I'm sorry. So this is all new for her. And I remember how ecstatic she was when she was telling me and everybody that showed up at the job, even the man delivering the water, I'm about to be a grandmom. I was like, Lord Jesus, this girl, listen. The trash collectors knew. Everybody knew Judith was going to be a grandma. I'm like, well, girl, how long you want to be one secretly? Because this is new for me to see you carrying on like this. It was a new type of happiness. And I said to her, let me tell you something, honey. Being a grandma is way different from being a mom. I know you don't get it, and you probably heard a lot of people say it because I did too, and I didn't get it. It's like the day that baby is born, we become territorial. That's our baby. Listen, I know Kha'yair, my oldest grandson, I know his mom was sick with me because I was like, oh, don't hold him like that. Oh, no, don't do that. No, you want to wrap him like this. And that, oh, girl, I know she was sick of me. I was all over. I told y'all when she went in labor, I was in her legs. The doctor was asking me to move over. Like, I got to make sure everything is right when he come out. Listen, they were sick of me, honey. I tried to pull out the camera. The lady was like, oh, you can't do that. I was like, why? I've seen people. Listen, I'm over there arguing with the people. They can't even do their job. My son was like, Mom, can you back out the way so they can get the baby out? I'm like, right. I'm ODing over here. Listen, she was calling me her baby daddy because when she was pregnant, I was buying her maternity clothes. I was going shopping, dropping off food to her house. I was making sure she was eating right while she was pregnant with my grandbaby. All of that. Yeah, she was calling me her baby daddy. That was the joke. But it's like soon as she told me she was pregnant, we didn't ever have a good relationship, but I had to, okay, you gotta let that go. She having your grandchild. You don't want to stress her. You don't want, you want to make sure everything is right. And I was asking her, can I go with you to your appointments? Even though we ain't really get along, and she might have felt uncomfortable, but I was going to be there. My grandbaby. I had to do everything in my power to make sure everything was okay. And I wanted to be abreast of everything. She said, girl, you sound like you 80 years old. Right. I do. I always say I'm more seasoned. I'm a more seasoned woman. You know what? I used to be embarrassed. Listen, when I turned 25, I started crying because I thought it was going downhill from that. I thought I was old. And you go through that. Women, I don't know if men go through that, but women, we definitely do. Because then something clicks up here like, by 35, I want to be married. By this, I want to have another kid. By that, you start setting things up by the years. You have this plan. And if you try to execute that plan and things don't go accordingly, you feel a type of ways. Men just, just like with anything, they just wander. And whatever happens, happens. When I wanted to have another child by 35, I did get pregnant at 35, right on schedule, but unfortunately I miscarried. I got pregnant again the next year. I carried a little further, but unfortunately I miscarried. I was so depressed. I was questioning God. I couldn't understand why all these women can have 50 million babies and not take care of them. And then there's me with one little child and all I want is one more and I can't. And I did everything right and I saved myself and I did this and I did that. And I was not going to get pregnant again until I was at least engaged or married and, And I was questioning God because I couldn't understand. And I went through grief counseling and everything because that thing really bothered me because, number one, the doctors was like, you're high risk once you hit 35. So I had all these things against me, right? Well, when I turned 38, here she come telling me she was pregnant by my son. So it was in that very moment that I knew it was unfortunate that I miscarried, but God was saving it because I was getting my babies vicariously through my son. And oh my God, that was crazy. But at the time of the miscarriage, I asked my OBGYN, like, do whatever you can. So we did this chromosomal analysis, which took 8 weeks for the results to come back. That was the longest 8 weeks. Wondering, what did I do wrong? Why can't I carry these babies? This and that. And I remember I was at work with my clients and my staff, and they were at the bowling alley, and I went over to hang out with them because I didn't have anything to do. And that's when, coincidentally, while I was there, was when he called to give me my results that everything was fine. And he was like, sometimes women miscarry 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 times, and then they'll have a successful birth. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that. But 2 years later, here come my son having a baby. So yeah, I got my babies through him. And I think I shared with you all, like 10 kids. I wanted a big family. So here I am with my 4 grandboys, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good on 10. I'm good. This is enough. This is enough. It's unfortunate that my son is incarcerated right now. But the one thing I know, can't nobody knock on my door and tell me they pregnant by him. Look, you gotta look for the silver lining in every situation. And that's mine. That's what I'm holding on to. Can't nobody knock on the door and tell me they pregnant by him right now. Now, when he come home, that's a different story. But for right now, I'm sitting pretty. I can breathe easy.
Now, we done already discussed this too. Hey, TJ. We done already discussed this too. The prison guards can say it.
Look at you, just as negative Nancy trying to rain on my parade. Baby, if they smart, they gonna get rid of it because I'm gonna get them in trouble. We not doing that. We not doing that. I wish my mom was like that as a grandma to my kids, but I'm like about my babies. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure they good. Regard, absolutely. Listen, sometimes the mothers aren't like that, because they only know how they were brought up. Sometimes it's not that they don't want to be like that. It's simply they don't know how to be any other way. And then you do have a few that they out there partying and doing everything wrong. They haven't finished navigating their way through, so it's like the blind leading the blind. It's unfortunate. But because you are such a great mother and role model, that makes up for that.
My sister, you breaking generational curses. I don't know how far down your bloodline it goes that this type of behavior has happened. But understand, you are breaking all the standards, breaking all the rules for your bloodline, which is your descendants, your children. So keep on doing what you're doing.
Hopefully, a lot of other women will jump on board and do it too. Hopefully. Sometimes it takes for you to see it, which was why it became a no-brainer for me to go ahead and start my YouTube journey, because I'm going to tell y'all, I wanted to start it 2 years before I did. Intimidation, because I saw how people were getting attacked on their channels, and I was like, I can't let nobody attack me and my babies. I'm going to have a fit. And there's nothing you can do. These people are virtual. What you going to do? So I think those 2 years, while I kept watching and wanting to do it, I was programming myself mentally on how to execute my content in a way that is so positive. You're going to have naysayers, but I want very few. Okay? If I get thumbs down, I just want a couple. I don't want majority of the people in my chat disrespecting me. And we don't have that here. This is a good, positive environment in my live streams. I really, really love it. If it's only going to be 10 people watching us, I'll take that versus someone having like 1 million people watching and they're being blatantly disrespectful. But I know that my mods in here ain't having it. I probably won't even see it because they gonna handle it. If somebody come in here talking crazy, we all gonna get them. So I'm not even concerned about that. Because I've developed such a great rapport with everyone that comes in here and sit here and chit chat with us, both on the panel and in the chat. And we're it's just a no nonsense vibe. I don't even think when East Dad coming here playing, he love it. That's why he keeps coming back. He like it. He tease and he go. But that's his way. He shows support and I appreciate that. Just coming in to say hello. I look forward to it. And that's why I return the love on that brother's channel. Listen, when I go over there, he mess with me too. That's why I get him every time he come here. But just like me, just like he do. But I'll stay over a little longer because even if I'm at work, I'll let him run or whatever like that. But it's all in love. But I don't have anybody all disrespectful. I don't want that. And it took me a long time, like I said, to go ahead and start my journey because that was my fear. If someone get on here and say something crazy about my babies or something, because I see them attack people and talk about their kids' head, how they ugly, and you shouldn't do that. They talk about people's children. Kids are off limits. You can talk about me all day, every day. I'm used to it anyway. I told you, nobody can tear me down more than these kids' mothers. They call me everything but a child of God. Hold on.
Yeah, we gotta. Sometimes you can't control people. We can't control the audience of people. But, they could get blocked or whatever, however it gets done on YouTube. We not worrying about what people got to say. Because the truth of the matter is, meet me at Love Park, downtown in Philadelphia. That's the truth of the matter.
I'm in the chats. She said that we do. Men go with the flow. Absolutely. They're sloppy. They're sloppy. That's why they always get caught up in stuff, because men go with the flow of everything. Very crazy, Sierra. Been there, carry babies, and they didn't make it. Yeah, that's a bad feeling. I truly understand. This will be absolutely be another conversation. That's another topic that I have. I know it's going to show up because I have one talking about abortions, how people feel about abortions. That'll be coming up. So I'm sure miscarriages and stuff is going to fall right in there. Thank you, Judith. I try to be a good role model for my little sisters. They don't listen at all. Listen, all you can do is stay in their ear, precious, and constantly put it out there. It's going to be up to them whether they listen or not. Go ahead, Judith.
And I wouldn't even stay in their ear. Your life is the testimony. How you're moving and the things that you're doing is the testimony. They will wake up. They will wait. You know, women. It take men a lot longer, but your little sisters, they'll see it and will move accordingly. You just trust your process.
Yeah, because it's just like when I say the negative women see a woman doing good who made better decisions. What they really do is they envy her. But they're too jealous and too stubborn and pig-headed to say it, what they really feel. So what do? You go into attack mode. Don't tear that sister down because she made better decisions. Just like I said, learn from her. It's just like this YouTube journey. So you see somebody that make it, don't get mad at them. That gives us hope. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. I always use Peach McIntyre, who was on the system, who used to show us large grocery shopping hauls and stuff of her using food stamps, her picking up her WIC, showing you how to go about it. And then now she's 6 and 7 figures and everybody mad because she's shopping and bragging. She was shopping like that when she was on food stamps. I remember the hauls. I watched her. When she was going in the supermarkets with her hair all over her head. When she was out there breastfeeding that baby, just pulled the titty out. I saw all that. Y'all was following her and stuff then and loving her when she was like ghetto. She's still ghetto. She says it herself. She just got money now. That's the only difference. And so because she got money, because she got money, okay, baby, you're mad. She's always on there educating how she went about it. All you got to do is listen to her. She dropped gems every time she uploads. Well, people so mad because she's in a different status financially that they just love to hate the woman. How could you hate on somebody you don't even know? And yes, she's selling courses and selling like the way she go about giving out this knowledge. But whenever she's on her live stream, she's giving it away for free too. You got to catch those nuggets. She drops them all day, every day. Stop being jealous and learn from the woman. It's not that deep. Prison guards are just nasty. You really want to lose your job over it, right? I don't think so. I don't understand it. We talked about that earlier in the conversation. Like, what did he say that made you even stop and entertain him? Like, what? Girl, get yourself, you there for work. Go do your 8 hours or 16 if you're doing a double and go home. All these men out on the street, you want one of them? You got to be kidding me. Babies are innocent. They shouldn't be talked about. Exactly. I don't like that. That's one thing I don't tolerate. And I ain't just talking about mine. I'm talking about anybody's babies. When I go to channels who are reactors and they get into talking about those, because they talk about the mommy sector a lot. I don't like to hear that. I don't like to hear it. Don't talk about their babies. But one of them, they was showing where the girl was moving from one location to another, and she had the dumpster in her driveway, and they showed all these pissy mattresses and stuff on top. Like, why y'all doing that? She didn't do that. The kids did that. So again, don't do that to the kids, because you're telling who the mom is. So clearly, we know who the children are. Don't do that. Listen, if you want to be cutthroat to that mom, and I don't get that either, why are you including the children in that? That's not cool. And so, unfortunately, I can't follow you. I don't like that negative stuff anyway. How long can I watch a reactor? 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. There is one reactor that I really, really like, because she tries to keep it classy and positive. Even though she's given her opinion, she goes about her delivery way different from the others. But at the end of the day, she's still a reactor, and she's talking about another person's channel. So I can't. Are you helping her? It's one thing if you're sitting there and you're helping the individual, and you're coming up with this game plan on, you could try this, you could try that. But when you're tearing people down, I can't entertain it. I can't have that in my spirit. It does not mix well with my soul. I can't do it. You're a really cool lady. Oh, thank you. Kimberly. Oh, Kimberly. I got to thank Kimberly. That's our sweetheart. Listen, she was on our panel with us, and we have to reschedule that. We're still waiting on Judith's daughter to feel better, and we'll get that scheduled. I'm shooting for not Tuesday, Judith, but the following Tuesday. I think we'll all be clear by then, because everybody was sick. And we need to get part 2 of International Love going. And Kimberly will be on the panel. So please, please, please make sure you are tuned in on Tuesday after next. Let me look at the date here. I'm telling you guys all now tonight. Now that we all went through whatever and still going through, I'm at a point it doesn't matter. Unless it break me down like it had me last week and the week before, I'm good to go. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up my calendar real quick. So, the 13th, guys. Ooh, I hate that number. The 13th, Tuesday the 13th, we're going to do International Love Part 2. I'm just going to go ahead and finish reading the rest of the chat, and then we're going to sign off here. Yeah, we love Kimberly. I see Sierra saying, yup, that's our girl. I've done that too. We gonna have you in here crying again? Don't cry, Precious. Look at Precious. You know what I call my niece that cry a lot? A little bucket of water. I'm like, girl, you a bucket of water. You always cry. Cry on the spot. Okay.
Go ahead. It's cleansing. Go ahead and let them tears out. It's cleansing. That's what you're doing. You let it out and cleanse yourself.
Don't be making her no cry, baby. I'm trying to strengthen her up. Arlene, welcome. Mega love shout out. Team Happy, thank you for being here. I do too. Yes, she does. And hold on. I'm trying to see the last one. And Carrie. Hold on. I need to talk to you privately. I have a question. Okay. You could DM me over. Sorry, my husband coming in. DM me over on Instagram. I'm at Pretty Brown Eyes #2. You can see my information in all the description boxes of my uploads. You could DM me anytime. I'm always on there. Even in the middle of the night, I'm checking and responding to people. You're an emotional person. That's not a bad thing. To me, I see strength. Thank you, baby. I see strength from you, Precious. I always told you that. You know your softer side, but I don't get that.
And us strengthy women have vulnerabilities also, and life is hard. And especially at this particular time, raising a family is extremely hard. We waiting on son-in-law to get here. Right now, it's just 3 of us. And it's hard. But all you got to do is talk, my sister. Whoever you got, is this the same woman I told she could listen? DM me, however you need to listen, anytime. I'm here. Wanda is there. We got you.
I want to welcome in Georgina Flores. Welcome. Mega love shout out. Thank you so much for stopping in. Josephine, welcome. We are actually at 2 hours, 20 minutes. This is way longer than I ever thought we would. But whenever I get in here chatting with y'all, I can't tell y'all enough. I be enjoying the conversation so much. This is my, adult conversation. This is my women's group. I always put in there thoughts of the modern day women in U.S. Listen, it is what it is. I don't want to sit on the jack and do a women's group on the phone. I want to do it this way. I want us to all be able to chat openly, honestly. Let's rub minds. Let's talk about it. We all been through some things. We all need some positive affirmations, some uplifting encouragement. This is where we're going to do it at, ladies. Anybody in here that wants to be a part of my WOW group, please DM me over on Instagram. We want some new women to come into the group where we support each other's content, live streams, premieres, whatever. Let's do this. We get the chit chat over there. We talk about everything. We pray for each other. Same thing, encouraging, uplifting. Let's do this. Anybody that's viewing it and you're a smaller channel, smaller content creator, and you need some extra support, DM me over on Instagram, Pretty Brown Eyes #2. Again, my information is always in the description box of all my content and my about section as well. Come on over. Join a wonderful group of women. In addition to that, we do group collabs. We're doing them once a week, every week on Thursday. And then we have one monthly adult beverage collab that's floating on different dates. We exchange the information on our stories and highlights on our feed and our community tabs over on Facebook. We're just trying to grow our community and get more and more people involved in collabing because we get to get across more platforms. So with the more eyes on you, the more subscribers you get, the more watch hours, the more engagement you get over in YouTube Studio Analytics. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I see a lot of great things happening to all the ladies' channels who are not just collabing with us, but just collabing, period, because it's a great way to network. We have separate chats for our collabs, so we get to chat within our WOW group, but we also get to chat with anybody that join in on the collabs with us, and it's a fun environment. So I encourage you, if you are a smaller content creator and you want some extra support, reach out to me by way of DM over on Instagram and join in on the fun. And Sierra Davis, Just Being Sierra, is also, she is my co-host. You can reach out to her as well. She shares it on her community tab, on her feed, on her highlights and her stories. So you can reach out to us. A lot of people have joined in on our collabs in the past. They continue to reach out to us and join in. All are welcome. If you hear about us, please come on, join in on the fun. I have to go because like I always tell y'all, when love calls, you better answer. Hubby just came in. Y'all heard the buzzer. That's my alarm. Like, okay, woman, get it together. You already know. All right, you had your little playtime. I was watching you from afar because he's a bush watcher, y'all. He be watching, but he don't always come in and say hi to us. Oh, but he coming in, so I got to go. I'm going to go get these boys settled down, and I'm going to go play house with my hubby tonight. Get your mind out the gutter. Get your mind out the gutter. Playing house at our age don't mean what y'all think. We going to have some coffee and talk at the table. Good night, everybody. Love and respect to you all.